The Earth has been invaded by Brainiac. Will Amanda Waller be able to stop the invasion with Lex Luthor's Project M? Moreover, there's a new Superman suit appearing. Episode 9 of My Adventures with Superman has arrived, and now it's time to analyze all the details involving the penultimate episode of the second season, so stay until the end of the video to see all the Easter eggs present in this episode. Welcome to Comic Chronicles. The second season of My Adventures with Superman is nearing its conclusion, with only one episode remaining to witness the resolution involving this Brainiac arc with Kara. But before we begin, if you're a Superman fan and want to receive more videos about our beloved Man of Tomorrow and other DC heroes, leave a super like on the video and your super subscription here on the channel. Your presence is very important to us. Give us this support so that YouTube can recommend this video to more and more people. Thank you very much, and let's get to the video. Kal-El's mind is imprisoned by the Black Mercy. He believes he's on Krypton with his family and thinks he's a scientist because he doesn't remember who he really is or that he was ever called Clark or Superman. Brainiac has complete control over him until Lois manages to infiltrate the artificial intelligence system using another Black Mercy device, as we saw at the end of the last episode. Besides the multiple anime references that this animation has brought since its beginning, it also often brings movie references in some episodes. While in episode 7 we had a reference to the movie Ocean's 11, here we can see a kind of reference to The Matrix. All this new concept involving the Black Mercy, while still reflecting the concept of the original plant, also blends with The Matrix throughout the episode, especially with the Chosen One journey that Lois Lane undergoes here. Unfortunately for her, as soon as she manages to access the system, she also loses her memories and is immediately confronted by Brainiac in the form of Jor-El, who imprisons her to find out how she got there and how to get rid of her. Meanwhile, Jimmy and Kara try to figure out how to defeat Brainiac in real life. They return to Earth, where they are immediately attacked by Amanda Waller's team, splitting their ship in half and using kryptonite against Kara. Jimmy tries to explain the situation, but Waller detains them as a threat to humanity. In Brainiac's world, Kal-El brings a piece of cake to the imprisoned Lois, believing she may be hungry. She rejects it, thinking the cake might be poisoned, since neither remembers who the other is. But Clark takes a bite, showing he's just trying to be kind. This kindness from Clark shows that even though Brainiac has deceived his mind, Kent still has his human side, caring about others' well-being. These small details demonstrate that, besides being a cute moment of the meeting again. He introduces himself as Kal-El, extending his hand to greet her. As soon as she touches his hand, her memories return, and she tries to convince him that he isn't just Kal-El but also Clark Kent and Superman. Just as Lois is about to make Clark recover his memories and remember what Brainiac did, the villain appears in the form of Jor-El and Lara to try to erase Lois from the simulation. Brainiac fails, as Lois ends up returning to the point where she arrived, like a sort of time loop. On Earth, Perry White and the Daily Planet team discover that Jimmy and Kara were imprisoned because, during the event, Jimmy live-streamed everything on his phone via the Flamebird channel. Thus, the team creates a barrier to prevent Amanda Waller from taking them away and to rescue Jimmy and Kara since, in Vicky Vale's words, imprisoning a journalist is against the Constitution. This moment involving Waller with the Daily Planet team really stands out as the low point of the episode. It's hard to believe that Amanda Waller would be so easily outwitted by them while Steve Lombard rescues Jimmy, Lois, and Kara. As soon as Steve manages to free the trio, Brainiac invades Earth with candor. While Lois tries to save Clark, Brainiac inadvertently reveals he can't get rid of her, as it would destabilize the simulation, causing him to lose control over Clark. The best he can do is restart the simulation and keep Clark and Lois apart. Taking advantage of this, Lois tries to evade Brainiac and talk to Clark, using a different strategy each time Brainiac resets the simulation. This keeps her in the loop until she finally manages to make Clark remember who they are. Brainiac's mistake of revealing this to Lois is quite cliched, which, in my opinion, marks another weak point in the episode's script. This villain revealing the plot to the hero trope feels reminiscent of Batman 66, but in this animation context, it just seems overly cliched. This isn't the first time we've seen a time loop in a DC series. In Legends of Tomorrow, episode 11 of season 3, Zari Tarazzi gets stuck in a loop where Wave Rider keeps exploding until she discovers how to break the loop. Back to the episode, Kara feels guilty for not being able to do anything and says she isn't suited to be a hero because she was raised to be a Kryptonian warrior. But Jimmy tells her that she alone can decide who she wants to be, no one else. Reaffirming what he had already told her in the previous episode, that she can be much more than she is, just like Clark chose for himself. Meanwhile, Brainiac offers the Earthlings a choice: surrender and be the jewel of the Kryptonian Empire or be exterminated. Waller decides to attack, but it has no effect on Brainiac. Kara takes action and decides to fight Brainiac, defending Earth. However, it is at this moment that Lex Luthor prematurely decides to use his new versions of Metallo with kryptonite cores, weakening Kara and Superman's body. Within the simulation, Clark remembers everything that's happening, and Brainiac no longer has full control over his mind. Thus, the villain tries to attack him, but with super strength, Lois defends him, punching Brainiac away. This happens because the simulation is based on Clark's memories, where he sees Lois as the strongest person he knows. Lois finally can apologize to Clark and set things right, making it clear that she loves him. This makes them stronger to defeat Brainiac and break the simulation, freeing themselves from the Black Mercy. This scene where they are escaping together, finishing each other's sentences, is another anime cliché. We can easily imagine a similar scene in any anime. Nevertheless, it emphasized the cute moment between them. Returning to their bodies in real life, Lois runs out of Steve's van to find Superman, who gets hit by one of Luthor's Metallos. Meanwhile, Brainiac goes back to his old machine in Kandor, vows to destroy Superman, and incorporates kryptonite armor, both on himself and on Kandor and his drones, rendering the Metallos ineffective against him. Brainiac commands his ship to fire a laser to destroy Earth, but Kara defends it, standing in the beam's path. This severely weakens Kara, already affected by kryptonite. When Brainiac fires the second beam, Kara thinks it's her end, but Superman steps in front of Kara, holding the beam before it hits her. Next, we see Superman's transformation into his new suit, another classic anime moment, where a character becomes stronger and changes clothes or appearance. When it seems Superman and Kara will defeat Brainiac, the villain hacks Lex Luthor's robots, firing kryptonite rays at the two Kryptonians, who fall wounded. Brainiac prepares Kandor to fire another laser to destroy Earth. Lois pleads for Superman's help, but he is still too injured and unconscious. The episode ends here, leaving the impression of no hope for Earth. This episode was very good, but it felt very rushed to me, which could be why I mentioned earlier the script's low points. Additionally, I am bothered by the fact that the villains have become mere lackeys for Waller. I really hope to see them follow a different path later. Another future possibility could be Lex Luthor eventually betraying her for his own benefit, because that would be very Lex Luthor-like. Another point I want to highlight is this new Superman suit, which turned out to be a surprise in this episode. I really like the chest symbol, which slightly resembles the new symbol for the James Gunn Superman movie. The suit looks good, but there are details I didn't like, such as the shoulder pads resembling Kryptonian suits. Another detail is the yellow belt, which reminds me somewhat of the Man of Steel belt style, plus the fact that the red underpants are now gone, which I feel was unnecessary. Overall, the new suit looks good, especially because of the symbol, but I still like the previous one, and now there's curiosity about which is the better suit. If you want to buy Superman comics, DC, Marvel, or any other online purchases, use our affiliate link, which is in the pinned comment. Additionally, in our community tab, you'll find selected comics at good prices, supporting our channel at no extra cost. Did you enjoy episode 9 of my adventures with Superman? What's your theory about the second season's finale? I believe Amanda Waller will somehow help Superman and Supergirl against Brainiac, since she now sees she has no other option. Write in the comments what you think will happen. Thank you so much for being here in the video. Tap the sphere appearing on your screen and join this ever-growing community. Also, if you want to check out all the details of each episode of the second season of My Adventures with Superman, we have a playlist entirely dedicated to the analyses of each episode, so you can always stay on top of every detail and Easter egg involving comics and other works. See you in the next video.